Kithure Kindiki has been holding meetings since he was appointed as the new deputy president. Remember when he took over, he had promised the president that there would be a paradigm shift from what they had accused Rigathi of, because William Ruto had said that Rigathi became a competitor rather than being a principal assistant. And Kithure Kindiki assured the president that he would be loyal, he would pass the loyalty test. And if you ask me, I think he's doing a good job in terms of loyalty because, in their own definition and in the definition of Ruto, loyalty means yes, sir. You do not question even when things are wrong. And if that is their definition, then I believe Kithure Kindiki has passed that test. But today, Kithure Kindiki said something that is only tantamount to telling the people of Kenya that by the end of 2020, of Ruto's term, please don't judge me for Ruto failures because I have a job description not as that of the president. The buck stops with him. And some of these town hall meetings are meant to popularize his image because some people had started accusing him that he's not being felt. Something happened today in one of the town hall meetings because those meetings are very selective. Not every Tom, Dick, and Harry goes to those meetings. So they were in a meeting, and there is a leader here called Edwin Kiongozi. Edwin Kiongozi, I think, is one of the leaders from Meru because Kithure Kindiki was meeting leaders from Meru. This Edwin Kiongozi was chased from Kindiki's town hall meeting, being accused of being a rebel because of his association with Rigathi Gachagua. This is what happened.
Tuketi. Haya, ameshughulikiwa. Tuketi. Sawa. Haya, sawa. Tuketi. Asante. Can we be seated? Haya, tuketi sasa. Asanteni jameni, kazi mzuri, nyinyi ni mabingwa kweli.
You know, that meeting was supposed to be attended by loyalists, those who are loyal to the president and his deputy. They never wanted someone who has got close association with Rigathi Gachagua. You know, Rigathi Gachagua is now the official opposition leader. And as usual in the Kenyan politics, they want psychopaths, those who will be saying Ruto is the best. And that is why Edwin Kiongozi was kicked and roughed up. Now, what shocked me is that the commentator is praising that crowd for a job well done, that they did well by chasing away the so-called the rebel among them. I don't think this is the best way to go. Because in the Kenyan scenario, you know, we need psychophants. So they never wanted anyone with a contrary opinion. And of course, you would want to judge either side who invited people, because when you are inviting people, if you really need people who are loyal, then you need to, selectively give the names. And for Edwin Kiongozi, if he knew very well that he would be unwanted in such meetings, there is no need of going there. There is no need, because let me tell you, politics is a very emotive game. You find yourself in unfamiliar territory, you'll realize that sometimes you're roughed up. But then, ladies and gentlemen, we need to be very, very tolerant. I've seen people from Mount Kenya, roughing up members of parliament who impeached Rigathi Gachagua. And I think this is what has informed the decision by this group to also chase one that they feel is not one of their own. But this kind of politics, ladies and gentlemen, will not benefit us in any manner. We really need to compete on political ideologies alone. We really need to allow politicians just give us what they think is the best. We judge them from their past records. But this idea of roughing people up, before you know it, it leads to carrying weapons, or it leads to another vengeful mission. Because next time, if any leader will attend a forum that is being presided over by Rigathi and his allies, and this leader is not pro-Rigathi, then you are also telling us that he should be chased and it will be a cat and mouse game. The problem with all these supremacy battles is that you will never see any son or daughter of Kithure Kindiki. You will never see any member of the family of Rigathi Gachagua or their close allies. It will be you and I ndio mtakuwa mnalimana, and that is why I always criticize this intolerance, because when people fight, their children are nowhere to be seen. Now, Kithure Kindiki was given a resounding reception when it was his time to speak came about. And this is how things went. And I want you to also listen to him as he says that his scorecard must not be compared to that of William Samoei Ruto, because as a deputy, his test is slightly lower than the bar that has been set for the president. Kindly take a look.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Naomba tuketi chini. Thank you very much. Ala? We. Mmeru bakinyire Karen. Naona wengine wananifundisha kazi. Unajua kama kaa hivi, deputy president nakaanga hivi. My friend, si ushughulike na kazi yako. Shughulika na kazi yako, my friend. When that time comes, si mimi ni deputy president. Mtihani yangu sio ya rais, itakuwa ya deputy. Ama si mtu ya form 4 anapewa mtihani ya form 4. Mtu ya university anapewa mtihani ya degree. Mtu ya form 1, mtu ya primary, mtu ya PP1. Mimi ni deputy rais. Mtihani yangu ni ya deputy rais. I will pass with flying colors. Nitapita ile A***. Kwa hiyo level, kwa hiyo kiwango. Because kazi ya naibu wa rais ni kusaidia rais. Sio kupigana na rais. That is not the job description. Hiyo ya kupigana na rais ni ya opposition. Opposition kazi yao ni kupiga rais na serikali yake. Kama wewe ni deputy president, kazi yako ni kusaidia rais kwa udi na uvumba, mchana usiku, kulia kushoto. Kama hutaki kumsaidia utoke. Ujoin opposition, ukijoin opposition hakuna mtu ako na haja na wewe. You can do what the opposition does. So siku ile tutafika pale kwa sababu watu wanatutisha sijui mambo ya sijui 27, na nimesema that does not worry us anyway. Mimi nitaambiwa wewe ukiwa deputy president miaka 2 hapa Meru County, kabla tuongee tuambie ni nini umetuletea, barabara ngapi, sijui nini, mambo ya miraa imefika wapi, mambo ya stima imefika wapi. Simple. So if I explain myself, sasa nitetee mtu yangu, bosi yangu sasa. Kwa sababu singefanya kama hakuwa ameidhinisha. Isn't it? So it's as simple as that. Na itakuwa tu mzuri. It will be okay. Things will be very okay.
And I think he's doing well as far as organizing that crowd is concerned, because many people had accused him of being so quiet. You know, Kithure is not such an abrasive politician. Sometimes I think that politics breaks the image and the legacy of a man. Kithure is a lawyer. And sometimes I still believe that Kithure was supposed to be an attorney general, because he has been so much exposed. A man who has got a wealth of knowledge. He first became the minister, the CS Interior, and very many people died under his watch. Azimio protesters, Gen Zs, they were killed when he was the Interior CS, and he has really soiled his blood, his hand in the blood, his hands in the blood. Imemwaribia. I believe that Kithure was not supposed to be a politician. Kithure is supposed to be a manager, a CEO. He's supposed to be an ambassador somewhere, expressing, and especially where legal brains are needed. But he chose to be a politician. He became a senator. At some point, they wanted him to be a governor. Ruto requested his people to allow him to work with him. But and if you listen to what he's saying, I don't know what you make out of it. He's trying to say that he knows his job, but those who are trying to train him on how to do his job, he knows the job description to be loyal to the president, to help the president. And you see, he was indirectly attacking Rigathi Gachagua. He's saying that he's not going to antagonize his boss, that if you want to fully antagonize, you walk away and then get it as your full-time job to criticize the government. And he's also alluding to the fact that now Rigathi went and is now in opposition. And I agree, Rigathi is in opposition now and is doing a good job. If all of the leaders would be boxed into a basket and they are singing yes sir, everyone is singing yes sir, there will be a lot of looting in the country. No one will speak about it. Abductions will be taking place. No one will be talking about it. Demolition of private property would be a common thing. No one would be talking about it. So we need someone who speaks out. And I like what Rigathi Gachagua is saying. Circumstances have forced Rigathi Gachagua. Just the other day, he was in government, praising William Ruto. After the Oster, he's now doing a good job and is now a man of the people. They have swapped roles with Raila Amolo Odinga. But I also thought that Kindiki is saying that when the time comes that you are judging leaders, when you are now looking at William Ruto, you're looking at his promises vis-a-vis what he has achieved. Kithure is trying to say that you do not blame them together. Kithure is saying Ruto has his own scorecard. Yeye ndiye alipromise watu, yeye ndiye aliahidi nitajenga hii, nitafanya hii, nimetenga. So I think he's also saying that they should not be held, responsible together. He was picked midway through the governance, and so he feels that you should not harshly judge him. But Kenyans are very unforgiving. If he knew very well that he joined a government that does not perform, he will be part of the success and part of the failure. The same way Raila Amolo Odinga and the ODM fraternity will never exonerate themselves from the failure of this government. Already, Gen Zs are saying you are part of the killing. You benefited after we had been killed. You joined the government and killed, stopped the Gen Z's protest. He cannot exonerate himself from that. Of course, he says he went there to stabilize the government. How? Gen Zs had destabilized William Ruto. They were demanding for equality. They were demanding that the government is run the right way. But Raila went and thwarted all that. So he cannot run away from the failures of William Ruto and the Kenya Kwanza administration. The same way Kithure Kindiki will never run away. In as much as he's saying that the bar is slightly set lower compared to that of the president, he's the principal assistant. If the president dies today, then he takes over. He is sort of the heir apparel in waiting. And he should note that. But what do you think about these continued, town hall meetings? They are meant to at least, improve the image of Kithure Kindiki and to show that he's very brave. Remember, he always launches some attack on leaders. The other time, he attacked Kalonzo. He was attacking Rigathi Gachagua. He's been given the role. I think he was reminded that the reason why we appointed you was to try and counter Rigathi Gachagua. Don't allow him to speak ill of the government when you keep quiet. You are there to champion development. You are there to keep him at bay, and that is what he's trying to do. He's telling Rigathi Gachagua, you are now in opposition. And he's telling the people, if you expect me to antagonize my boss, I will not. And I think that's the role, because I don't think whether the deputy has got the role set up. Maybe duties will be assigned by the president. I think that is what the constitution says. But I still want to emphasize, if we continue harassing those who we feel are not part of us, we are heading the country into a very wrong trajectory. We really need a lot of tolerance. I always say that by the end of the day, there is a life after politics. By the end of the day, these leaders are always friends. They live in residential places that sometimes some of us cannot afford. They go to churches that we don't go. They go to shopping that we don't go, places where we don't even go to. Their families interact at a certain level that we don't. So I'm really against subjecting ourselves to be used by politicians, that we are harassing this person. Tomorrow we find ourselves in their territory, they harass us. And I'm telling you, this is what will lead to the hatred that we've always witnessed. And politicians like it when they use the divide and rule. They don't want us to be together. The day we will decide that no matter what your political or tribal affiliation is, we will still remain friends. We will wait for the right time to vote in and out our leaders. We will listen to them sell their ideologies, watuuzie sera zao, sio kugonganisha watu. That is the day when politicians watashika njia. But you see, when we allow them to use us, when we feel that I'm not part of you, so I should be harassed, we are still very behind. And the politicians will like it that way, because once we are divided, then they know they stand a better chance. But when we are united, they will not be able to hoodwink part of us. I don't know what you think, but I still pray for tolerance.